Okay. Welcome to this academic debate. The world is composed of a great diversity of cultures, and two of the most influential are Eastern and Western culture. In this debate, we will discuss the advantages and disadvantages of each culture and how they compare to each other. To do so, I have some questions on various topics that are of great importance in today's world and give us the opportunity to debate in this space. But before we begin, I would like to introduce my two colleagues, Maria del Mar and Valentina, and each of them will take a stance of each culture as follows. Maria del Mar, Eastern culture, Valentina, Western culture, and me, Diana, I am the moderator. To start the debate, I would like us to focus on the role that individuality and personal success play in Western and Eastern cultures. It's important to know that not all cultures value these concepts in the same way, and it's interesting to explore how these perspectives compare and contrast. With this in mind, I'd like to pose the following question to our panelists. What is the role of individuality and personal success in Western culture, and how does it compare to Eastern culture? Maria del Mar, we want to listen to you. Please tell us what do you think about that.
Thank you so much for really great introduction. So, in my hand, in my situation, talking about Eastern culture, they expect that the people do not have the right to make their own path and success. They must follow the footsteps of their elders, family, and religion. And the path of success would lies with how thus before you have achieved it. That means they don't have the right to pick their own decisions. They have to think about what they will choose for them to be success in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria del Mar, for your opinion. Please, Valentina, tell us about what do you think about that?
Okay, this is cultural. The characters be strong of autonomy, freedom, individually is quite when culture, so that if the person is responsible for the wrong destiny, was the ring of the personal goals and ambition, individuality is the positive and the people are and shown to sprint, though an instead for in unique and abilities and talent and a capability, so comparing to a culture, you are not judged your why is out of the expression and in yourself. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Valentina. Okay, the topic we will address now is the education of children in Eastern and Western cultures. We know that education is a fundamental part of individual development and that each culture has its own way of approaching this topic. With this in mind, I would like to pose the following question. How is the education of children approached in Eastern and Western culture, and what are the differences and similarities? Please, Valentina, give us your point of view.
Okay, so in Western school inclusion is see with the children how have the special condition and school the children must be down the separature so that they really need of the right. So we like education, so excellence and discipline is say the learning and linking to strong and hard work.
Thank you, Valentina. Maria del Mar, what do you say about that? Hello?
Would you like I want to continue?
No. Después. No, no te escuchamos tu respuesta.
¿La mía?
Sí, no escuchamos.
Sí.
Escuchamos la de Valentina.
Ok. Entonces, ¿quién estaba grabando?
Yo.
María, ¿sí? Entonces tenías que, entonces, ¿vuelve a pararla o la dejamos así para editarla? ¿O la volvemos a grabar?
Yo la edito. Si quieren, yo la edito.
Ok.
Ok, entonces si quieres, yo ya dije thank you, entonces puedes como volver a referirte a ella.
Ok.
Ok, en ese thank you, Diana va a hacer una introducción a mí.
Sí.
Ok.
María del Mar, what do you think about that?
So, in the other hand, education differs in Eastern cultures because students are so respect what teachers are saying, and the students are never question or debate the teacher. In the addition, children in Eastern culture are taught more about following and obedience before teachers can truly begin true educations, and students who listens and doesn't question their teachers is the better prepared to learn new subjects and knowledge. That means the kid that is prepared to do not questions the older person or the following person to following the steps is the better person to do the job, to do the assignment, to do the homework. Thank you.
Thank you, María del Mar. Okay. Now, in this question, I would like to address the topic of sustainability and the environment. We know that each culture has its own relationship with the environment and its own way of approaching sustainability. With this in mind, I would like to pose the following question. How do culture difference influence the approach to the environment and sustainability in the East and West? I pass the floor to Maya del Mar.
So, in my case, Eastern cultures look at sustainability as a concept practices that has no much to gain through integration through culture. This entails cultivating the Holocust approach found with Easter and Easter philosophy and culture, while valuing is the analytical Western contributions. Thank you.
Thank you, Maya del Mar, for your opinion. And Valentina, what do you think about this question?
In the culture, interconnection and harmony between humans and nature involved. So sustainability of the nature, the protection, and of everyone in water. So domination and control for natural is special. So sustainability of efficacious use reason and the reduction and reduction also of the carbon for trip.
Thank you,
Thank
Valentina.
you.
Now, we will focus on ethics and morality in Eastern and Western cultures. We know that each culture has its own way of understanding and approaching these issues. So, how is ethics and morality approached in Eastern and Western culture? Valentina, what is your opinion about this question?
Okay, in Western civilization, most of the culture had politics, religions, there also the concept into the office again. So in the understand television, the idea is the evil is not so come the will of the come mysterious. So according to when the relation, the division between the soul of the body, but the understand really tell me what. So it's communication between the soul and the body because so is the region and impossible to evident and are impossible to separate. Thank you.
Thank you, Valentina. Maria del Mar, please give it us your point of view.
So it's hard for me to make my point of view about this topic because maybe I grew up in this size of the world. But talking about the Eastern culture, they are much about doing what is right, about what is right for their family, their culture, their religion, not about what is right for themselves. So they have to follow the rules about the family, religious, and culture, and the whole civilization for themselves. They cannot uh, choose what they want to like they want what they want to ethics and morality want to be in building for themselves. They have to follow the rules that society historically made it for themselves. They have to follow the rules about the elders made for them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria del Mar. The next topic we will address is diversity and inclusion in Eastern and Western cultures. It's important to understand this cultural difference in order to have a more complete view of each culture and work together towards a more just and inclusive society. With this in mind, how is diversity and inclusion approached in Eastern and Western cultures, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of each approach? Maria del Mar, what do you think about this?
It's so sad. In my personal opinion, is so sad because diversity and inclusion is approached in Easter as very limited. Yet, if it exists at all, Easter culture is extremely white and does not allow change faced by others to slow down the growth audiences about community. They have their own situation already conformed and they have to follow the rules. That means you do not, and you will not take your own opinion and made it be as right. You don't have that right. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria del Mar. I appreciate your opinion. Valentina, please tell me what is your point of view about this question.
Okay, so I wanted to culture for unit individuality and opportunity, and is for inclusion, for you and the people will have the same opportunity and right of the right. Okay, so event is, for example, promotes cultural diversity of tolerance. This event is, for example, I can, and intention is collaboration. So I can polarization and the people how don't start saying ideas on for the. Thank you.
Thank you, Valentina. Now, we will focus on health and medicine in Eastern and Western cultures. It is important to understand this cultural difference in order to have a more complete view of each culture and work together towards better global healthcare. With this in mind, I would like to pose the following question to our experts on the topic. How do cultural differences influence the approach to health and medicine in the East and West? Valentina, what do you think about that, about this question?
In their civilization, the medicine is clear wide variety of practice is so commercially herbally and is based on the idea a body has vital energy. While the West civilization was more in medicine and the professional mode so an example for examination. Thank you.
Thank you, Valentina. Maria del Mar, what do you think about that?
Difference between the Western civilization, the Eastern medicine is more about aims to restore the body balance and harmony between the body, the natural opposing force like the body and the soul. Like the opposite force of the yin and the yang. And that includes uh, the medicine that is in a group of the acupuncture and herbal therapy. They belongs that your soul should be self like should be cured. So if your soul is cured, your body will be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria del Mar. Finally, the topic we will address is freedom of expression and censorship in Eastern and Western cultures. We know that each culture has its own way of addressing these issues, and there may be advantages and disadvantages to each approach. I would like to ask the following question. How is freedom of expression and censorship approached in Eastern and Western cultures? And what are the advantages and disadvantages of each approach? Maria del Mar, please tell us your opinion about that.
Freedom is so magical. Think about that word. Freedom of expression in Eastern culture is very limited. You know, if at all. The disadvantage, like they cannot, they do not, and they will not express themselves. Why? Because they have to respect, they have to follow the norms, they have to follow the rules, they have to follow every tradition that is being building about the years in this culture. They cannot make a difference because it's not accepted and will not be accepted. The advantage is like, you know what you should expect about this civilization. You know what you should expect for good or for bad about this civilization because you know that they will be following the rules as the letters say. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria del Mar. Valentina, what do you think about that?
Okay, when civilization is scarred to begin, very liberal with the inhabitants, but cultural is better. So I went civilization, you are free to choose how you can marry with your having family profession, while in the civilization and original and deletion moods me baby with the family, and its favorite is change of idiom of opinion, which can read public and debate problems on diversity and so is completion and tolerant. Thank you.
Okay, classmates, thank you for your opinion. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you for this space.
We really want to say thank you for the attention that you give in this video. We hope that you really understood about the difference about the East and West culture and civilizations. Thank you so much.
Listo.
Bueno,
Quedó así.
y de ahí lo podemos cortar, entonces puede
Listo.
pausar la grabación. Hay que cortar este pedacito.
Sí. Ah, pues eso es lo que. Bueno, vamos a dejar esta, ¿sí?
Sí.
Sí.
Listo. Entonces, yo creo que mañana lo hago y el viernes les envío para que lo